Welcome back. My name is Dave Knight and welcome to DaveTv. Here we discuss real estate, finance, and investing. And today's topic, the state of the Orlando economy. And now that Central Florida's largest employer, Disney World, has reopened its doors, the reopening has been viewed by many as a first step back towards normalcy. And after months of uncertainty, the reopening meant that many hospitality workers were finally able to return to their jobs. But the Orlando parks and many other across the country are quickly learning that their fan base favors safety over a ride with Mickey or Harry. And last week, Disney confirmed it saw its revenue from the parks fall by 85% from the previous quarter, which included a months-long closure. And the company reported a whopping $3.5 billion hit to its park operating income. Wow. I don't believe reopening is really going to stop the bleeding. Across Central Florida, theme park visitors are reporting incredibly low crowds. Disney has maintained that for its parks, the small crowd levels are by design. But at the same time, the resort has continued to expand park reservation availability while running sales unlike anything ever seen since the aftermath of 9/11, including extremely rare two-day Florida resident tickets at a heavy markdown. These discounts haven't stopped guests from canceling their vacations, with company officials confirming a higher than expected number of cancellations that have occurred since the Florida resort reopened. Even with these initiatives, the crowds have yet to appear, causing Disney to confirm that it will be slashing park hours. And starting next month, Epcot, which already has an 11 a.m. opening, will be closing at 7 p.m. And with no nighttime events to keep the crowds in the parks, the Magic Kingdom is set to see a 6 p.m. closure. Now, cuts in entertainment won't translate into any meaningful drops in one-day ticket prices, which begin north of $100 for even the slowest days. And rumors of mass layoff at Disney are now constant in message boards and social media. Those with knowledge of the situation confirm that multiple high-level managers at the resort won't be returning. And this focus on older, higher-paid workers aligned with larger trends seen across the hospitality industry, where those over 55 years old have been impacted by the layoffs at a higher rate than those under 25. And it's believed this is part of a company-wide initiative to cut back on overhead labor costs. And at Universal, which also recently scaled back its hours, an undisclosed number of employees were laid off in the past few weeks. Multiple attractions have been closed indefinitely, and work on Universal's much anticipated multi-billion-dollar Epic Universe theme park, originally slated to open in 2023, has been completely halted. SeaWorld looked to be swimming against the current when it extended its hours, adding Thursdays to its previous 5 days per week operating schedule. Some fans pointed to the move as evidence that the company was performing better than expected. But that idea was quickly tarnished when an internal notice chastising unpaid furloughed employees for seeking information on when they might be able to return to work was leaked. SeaWorld has so far not responded to that request for a comment regarding that notice. On Monday, SeaWorld reported revenue for quarter two was down by 95.6%, with attendance nearly the same. And despite its losses, the interim CEO, Mark Swanson, said the company was using the situation to review potential parks and hotels to add to their lineup, hinting plans to create additional Sesame Place amusement parks. In the meantime, the company will delay its 2020 attractions until next year and are looking at ways to offer the popular holiday events in a responsible way. Both Disney and Universal have canceled their extremely popular Halloween-themed special events. The cancellations are viewed as a significant hit to Central Florida's economy. The numbers aren't just in for Orlando. Theme parks across the country are seeing unsustainably low crowd levels, with both Six Flags and Cedar Fair confirming that multiple parks will remain closed until at least next year. That's sad news. A new poll published by Morning Consult shows a modest yet promising uptick and the number of Americans comfortable with currently visiting a theme park. However, more than 80% of the respondents still report not feeling comfortable doing so at this time. And looking ahead, the forecast isn't much better, with 41% of respondents stating a visit to an amusement park isn't something they feel comfortable doing at least for the next 6 months. For Disney, this hasn't translated to seeing half of their visitors from being in-stay. And locals with annual passes and day tickets are a good cushion for Disney during slower times of the year, but they spend far less than their multi-day vacationers who stay on site. For Orlando and the tourism industry, this industry as a whole, the evidence has shown that politicians and business leaders may find it easy to ignore the more than reported 62,000 deaths. But the vast majority of Americans still understand you can't enjoy a roller coaster if you're on a ventilator. More layoffs, and operational cuts are expected within the upcoming weeks. So as you can see, Orlando and Florida's economy, like Las Vegas, is heavily dependent on tourism. No tourists, no dollars.